올리브 열렸다? 심심할 것 같아. 아니 저 구시가지가 보이는 게 인상적이네.
No, where do we go when our skin gets cold? Does anybody know if the place we go still feels like home? No, where do we go when our skin gets cold? Does anybody know if the place we go still feels like home? No, where do we go when our skin gets cold? Does anybody know if the place we go still feels like home? No, where do we go when our skin gets cold? Does anybody know if the place we go still feels